Hi everyone. Okay, welcome back to part 2 of lesson 2.9, part 2. Okay, so this one says and I'm on at the top of page 145. This says, what is the graph of the equation y equals 2x plus 4? Okay, so remember, you always graph the y-intercept first. So we're going to graph positive 4 first on the y-axis. So we're going to find positive 4 on the y-axis and we're going to plot a point. You always graph that first. Then from that point, you're going to rise and run your slope. So your slope is 2. So folks, remember, if your slope is not a fraction already, make it a fraction. Just put a 1 underneath it. So your rise is 2 and your run is 1. So from this point, we're going to rise 2 and run 1. And every line's counting by 1, so that's why I went up 2 over 1. Okay, so rise 2 over 1. I can create this line where all the points, all the dots line up, and it is absolutely linear. It's a straight line. Okay, so we graph the y-intercept first at 4, and then we rise 2 and run 1. Boom. And you can keep doing that, rise 2 and run 1. You can actually go the opposite way, down 2 and left 1. Down 2 and left 1. You can go backwards on your slope. Down 2 and left 1. Do you see that I can extend the line in either direction by doing that? Okay, so the y-intercept is 4. The y-intercept is 4, so that means that point is 0, 4. That is your y-intercept, 0, 4. Look, x, y. See how the 4 is in the y position and the other number's 0? So the y-intercept is 4. That's at 0, 4. So the slope of the line is positive. It goes up from left to right. The slope goes up from left to right. So start at the y-intercept, and we went up 2 and over 1. Up 2 and over 1. And then now we're at the point. So if we started at the y-intercept and we went up 2 and over 1, we're now at the point 1, 6. We're at the ordered pair 1, 6. Okay, so let's try another one. This one says write an equation. Okay, so that is absolutely y equals mx plus b. So folks, let's find the y-intercept. That number goes here at the end. So where the line crosses the y-axis, this is -1, -2, -3 right there. -3. So that should say -3 at the end, the y-intercept. Now let's find the slope. And we're going to put it right there in front of the x. Okay, so I know my slope is negative. My line's going down. So this is going to be a negative number. Now, let me find 2 points that land on the line. Everything is counted by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm going to start at my lower point. I'm going to rise 1 and run 2. I went up 1 over 2. Rise 1, run 2, and it's going down. So -1/2. There is my equation. Y equals -1/2 x minus 3. Okay, so let's try that again. Write an equation for the line in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Folks, let's find the initial value where the line touches the y-axis. So it is touching right there at positive 4. So this should say positive 4 at the end. Now, let's use, you know what? Let's use y minus y over x minus x. Let's find 2 points on the line. This is 0, 4, and this is 1, 7. For those of you that are confused by rise over run. Okay, so x, y, x, y. So my y numbers are 7 and 4. So 7 minus 4. Okay, my x numbers are 1 and 0, 1 minus 0. 7 minus 4 is 3, 1 minus 0 is 1, 3 over 1 is 3. My slope is positive 3. This line is going up from left to right. Okay, so if I rise 1, 2, 3, and run 1, 3 over 1 is 3. So I'm kind of running out of room right here, so I'll write it right here. Y equals 3x, 3 is my slope, and then 4 was my y-intercept. Y equals 3x plus 4. Okay, so let's try another one of those. So this one, again, when it's written in slope-intercept form, you always graph your initial value first, your y-intercept. So -5, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So that is our first point. Always graph that. Now from that point, I'm going to rise and run the slope. So the slope is not a fraction. I'm going to put a 1 underneath it. I'm going to make it a fraction. So my rise is 3 and my run is 1. So from this point, I'm going to rise 3, 1, 2, 3, and run 1. And I can do that as many times as I need to extend my line in either direction. Rise 1, 2, 3, and run 1. Okay, and then I have a nice straight line that I can draw, linear equation. Okay, so if you're taking a look at this one, so it says write an equation in slope-intercept form where x is the number of hours the kayak is rented. So x is the number of hours that the kayak is rented down here, x, and the y is the total cost of renting. Okay, so folks, in order to write this equation, this is what you need right here. This is it. So here is the y-intercept. That's where it says the y crosses, but it's not quite at 5, 10, 15, 20. It's not quite at 5. It's above that. But this is where it tells you right here, folks. So you have to pay $6 up front. That's where your cost starts, a $6 deposit. So that is actually at 6 right there. You have to pay $6 up front and then $12 per hour. That part is your slope, your rate of change. So you have to pay $6 up front. That's your initial fee, initial value. And then you pay $12 per hour. That is the number happening over and over and over. 12 every hour, 12 every hour. So there's your equation for that. Okay, let's try a couple more. So turn to the back side, page 146. Page 146. Okay, let's take a look at the same problem, that same kind of problem. So let's write the equation for this, slope-intercept form. Okay, so this is actually telling you that that point right there that's touching the y-axis is this, $12.25. So here, again, here's your information. The processing fee, that's a one-time fee you pay. You have to pay that upfront for them to process how many tickets you're buying. So that is your y-intercept, $12.25. And it tells you that right there in the point. So that's your initial value, your y-intercept. Now, your slope, every ticket you pay $21. So there's your slope. So y equals $21 x plus $12.25. This means you have to pay $12.25 up front plus $21 every ticket you buy. Okay, so let's take a look at one more. Let's look at the bottom. So what should you do first to graph this equation? Okay, folks, remember, you always graph your y-intercept first. So plot a point on the y-intercept. You always do that first. Okay, now let's write an equation for this line. We're almost done. Let's do one more. We have time. Okay, so write an equation. All right, slope-intercept form, folks. Y equals mx plus b. Okay, so the y-intercept is +8. That should say +8. And now the slope is going down. So every line is counting by 1. So if I rise 2 and run 1, 2 over 1 is 2, and it's negative. It's going down. So y equals -2x plus 8. Hope that helps.